Oh, we're off to a good start. Hey guys, so a couple of weeks ago I was sent an email asking if I wanted to participate in a YouTube collaboration with a bunch of beauty people that were doing a look based on a theme. I know that Jordan Liberty is involved from Give Good Face. Nikki Tutorials is doing this. Sam over at Pixie Woo. And this is a, when I said that, that made me laugh. Sam over at Pixie Woo. Like, it's a place like that you would go to get something done. Hey, did you go see Sam at Pixie Woo today? Yeah, I went to see Sam over at Pixie Woo today. I got a flat. Where do I go? You know, I love that Sam over at Pixie Woo. I was injured on the job, and I talked to Sam over at Pixie Woo, and she listened to me and helped me get me the money I deserve. The task here is to create a look that is inspired by or based on a designer's, like a runway collection, something that's inspired by a designer's clothes. I decided to take inspiration from the 1939 MGM film The Women with Joan Crawford, Norma Shearer, like every woman in Hollywood at the time, and Adrienne's Technicolor fashion show in the film was my inspiration. In particular, this one green dress that has this turban and a clear dome on the top. It's actually really awesome. Now, what I'm going to be doing, I sketched out on a face chart right here, and guess what? You can get these. Plug, thefacechart.com. These are back in stock, and there you go. What I'm going to be doing is something that's inspired by and takes elements from the 30s decade. Thin, arched eyebrows, glossy eyes, but I'm doing a glossy, smoky eye, and this sort of almost squared off kind of Joan Crawford-y mouth. So first things first, let's strip. All good things in life, as I say, start with a wig cap, and this one starts with two, so you know we're in for a treat. You're also going to want to cover your brows, so don't be surprised when you see me with no eyebrows. Now this is going to seem a little bit backwards. I'm going to start with lashes. Because I'm doing a glossy lid, putting lashes on, it's just going to be difficult and it's going to make a huge mess. So we're going to pre-lash before we do anything else. Okay, lashes are on. Let's do foundation. I'm about to show you why I don't make recommendations for foundation. There's a number of reasons why I don't, but one of them, people are like, well, what shade am I supposed to be? I don't know. I mix everything. I've got NW20 in Studio Fix Fluid by MAC. I'm mixing that with NC15, about equal parts, a little more NC15. I've got the BB cream, the hot pink one from Skin 79. We'll do a pump of that. And then I'm going to thin this out with Face and Body Mixing Medium. Just mixing some colors and some products that I like to get something that's going to work. And I apply so much stuff with my hands. So Adrian Greenberg just went by Adrian, and he was a designer for MGM, also had his own label and shop afterwards. Most important probably in the early Hollywood days. You would know him as the as the designer behind the costumes in The Wizard of Oz. That's what most people know him as, but he did so much work, so much in Hollywood, but also so influential in design, just period. This is the guy who's sort of credited as being responsible for Joan Crawford's silhouette, those big shoulder pads and the tight, skinny waist, because she was just so broad-shouldered anyway, and he didn't know what to do with them, so he decided, let's just make them bigger. And that look really even sort of trickles into the 80s with the power suit and the big shoulder pads and the cinched-in waist. So this is very much an iconic fashion designer, even if he's mostly known for doing predominantly movies. It's still influential. It's still pop culture. Let's go in and do a little concealing now. You'll notice that I'm doing the face kind of, I guess, what I consider to be backwards. I'm doing the eyes last because I'm going to be doing a lot of gloss, and gloss just creases. But it's supposed to. That's actually kind of part of the look. There's a couple different ways that you can do glossy eyes. A lot of times you'll see people put the powder, the look on, and then press gloss on top of it. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I find that by making a sort of a mixture, like a gloss base, and then sort of spreading it on the lid as a gloss, I have a little bit more control and I get a little bit more playtime before it starts to crease. All right, let's hit this with some powder. Now, before I move to the brows, I did a test of this look, and I did the brows a little lower and a little further out. I really liked that. For the photo shoot, I did them higher and more of an arch. I was going for sort of a Jean Harlow kind of a thing. The one thing I do think is important, though, is to start them much farther back than you might normally do. So I'm sketching these out with powder. Aside from thin, villainous brows in the 30s, one of the things that you saw often was that the brow would be penciled in softer or have a softer line to it. You could use powder if you wanted, and diffused more on the bottom side, and then there would be a harder dark line drawn just across the top of the eyebrow to define it. Just a little bit of contour. I'm usually very light-handed on the contour work. I don't like really heavy contouring and highlighting. Save that for Photoshop. I'm going to do a light line in the waterline. This is just a pale yellow. Now the mouth is going to have a very soft Cupid's bow, not very sharp at all, and it's going to come out more on the outside part, making kind of a more of a square shape. It's very Joan Crawford. And that's just a deep plum liner. I'm going to fill that in with a lipstick now. I'm going to darken the brows, and then we're going to move right on to the eyes. I'm using the same small like pencil brush that I did before for the brows, but I'm sweeping it across a liner just to pick up a little bit more color. There's one. Okay, I'm using my finger to get some brown liner on the lid just as a little bit of a base. I literally just wipe my finger across a pencil and then press it in. If you haven't seen The Women, the original version, not the horrendous remake, it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of like, I mean, if you talk about like chick flicks, it's probably one of the first ones. That's our glossy brow bone. And put some gloss on here and then mix it up. Okay, swirling my brush in the product. I'm going to start tapping that in. Don't worry if it looks a mess. It's going to look a mess, because you're going to be kind of patting this out and blending it. You'll need a couple brushes for this. Now, if you want, you can keep building intensity and color here. You can put a layer of gloss on, and then with the color, that gloss cream, and then you can put some powder on, and then some more gloss, and then some powder, and it will just build the color intensity up. It'll still crease, but it'll be just a more intense, rich color. Now, in the 30s, glossy eyes were popular, but it was mostly a just put like some Vaseline or something on your lid, and that was it, not color and gloss. There also weren't a lot of makeup options, so you often just saw makeup being some sort of a version of a smoky eye. I just decided to kind of combine the two. And there you go. That is the look. Now, before this creases, let's put some mascara on. Lots of mascara. Black mascara. This isn't exactly, obviously, I've said before, an accurate 30s look. The severity of the color around the eye does call to mind sort of a 20s kind of a vibe. One of the things that I loved about Adrian as a designer is that when he would do something historical, he wouldn't just give you historical accuracy. He would sort of give you a nod, a visual suggestion of historical accuracy, and then embellish on it. Make it very flamboyant, make it very big, put a big bow on it. Something like that. How the hell did that get there? All right, guys, that's the look. Thanks so much for watching. This is the 1930s, the women, gowns by Adrian inspired look. This is inspired by Adrian's fashion, his aesthetic, his approach to design, as well as that sort of early Hollywood glamour that I really love. Make sure you check out everyone else's looks that they've been doing for this. I've seen photos and they are really, really cool. I will include links, of course, to all the videos in the description of this one. Any blog posts that people are doing, they will be in the description here as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm forgetting. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please leave them in the comments section. I will do my best to get back to you until I see you next time, which will be soon. Please remember, don't shave your eyebrows. Take care and drive safe.